This is the parent video that's accompanying the talk on compartmentalization. There's a role that you guys as parents have to play in every single aspect of mental performance in some capacity or another. My goal here is just to ask, if you have any questions about how you can be a part of that one way or another, to be able to provide you with some resources for that. So the topic of compartmentalization, I hope you watched the video that went out to your athlete on that talk. So how are you guys as parents involved in your athlete's ability to compartmentalize or not compartmentalize things? So the first thing that I highly encourage all of you to do is just have those conversations about compartmentalization and reinforcing that message. That's a similar message I'll have to you guys on pretty much all of these videos, is just take some of the messages that we have, and if you would find that valuable, that you would reinforce that with your athletes. So that's the first thing. The second thing is practically being a part of their ability to be focused on one area to the next of their life as you go along. So for example, one of the easiest examples to come up with is somebody that they're driving their athlete to the game, and should you guys as parents want to hound them about the game at all times? Probably not. But it may not be a good idea if you're on your way to the game to talk to them about homework that they need to do, to talk to them about anything like that that's not necessarily going to be able to work for them or serve them in that moment on the car ride in. So that doesn't mean that you guys should stay away from those conversations entirely, of course, but just know that there's a time and a place for those conversations, because ultimately that's where their thoughts will be, wherever you take them in the time that you're talking about that thing. So you're driving them to a game, you're driving them to a practice and whatever, and if that's the only time you get to see them that night, maybe that's the time that you have to talk about homework and things like that. But if it can wait, if there's a different time for it, talk to them about something that's either light or something that is directed to, in just a supportive way about the game, about the practice, whatever, to make sure that their minds are in a good place headed into that spot. I think that's a good way that you can serve them as far as performance goes. And then, of course, when it's time at home to talk about homework, if that's something that they have to do, maybe put away the talks about the game or the practice or whatever. If they have homework to do in that hour and they only got an hour before they're going to go to bed, or whatever that routine is for you guys at night, then it's time to talk about the homework and maybe not talk about the game. So you guys, in the conversations you have with your athletes, it is an important thing to know that they may not be able to bounce from one thing to the next the way that we can as adults. They can get fixated and stuck on things. If we're not trying to facilitate good boundaries for them mentally as we go. So you guys can be a part of that. That's just my best advice to you. Thank you for all the support that you have for your athlete, of course, at all times. And I appreciate you guys taking a moment to listen to this video and listen to some advice that we could give you as an organization, or I could give you to try to assist your athlete in the topic of compartmentalization mentally.